Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dan with Senior Ministry E-Bike Nation. I'm going by myself today. Caleb's got schoolwork to do, so been bad last 2 or 3 days. I couldn't get out, so I want to get out today on the Zota Zephyr. We're going to do a 20-mile ride today. We're going to go to the food blessing box, drop off some food, head up another probably 5 more miles, and then we'll head back. So anyway, just want to let you know, I'll turn the camera back on when we get on the trail, and let's give it a go. Good morning again, everyone. This is Dan with Senior Ministry E-Bike Nation. We're on the trail, and a little chilly this morning. It's probably only 40, maybe 43 degrees outside. A little bit of breeze coming out of the southwest, but not bad. I don't see a cloud in the sky today, so I had to take advantage and get out and ride today. As I mentioned, I couldn't get out the last couple days because the inclement weather. I mean, we had snow showers last 2 or 3 days. As you can see on the sides, we still got snow on the ground. But the trail should be completely clear where I'm going today. Again, we're going to start at the blessing box, food blessing box, drop off a couple canned goods, and then we're going to head up to the wooden bridge, which makes it 10 miles, and then I'll head back and we'll have a 20-mile ride. But let me know if you guys got a chance to get out and ride this past weekend and what bike you was riding. I did load several videos the last few days. They had already been taped on Caleb and I's previous back ride down to Franklin, Ohio. We did a little road trip. So I did preload a bunch of videos to come out like 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. And I think tonight's the last one, so had to get out and get some fresh content. And I want to thank all my subscribers who have joined my channel. I had a bike seat company. I believe they make giddy up seats. It's YK or something. I can't remember the name of the manufacturer. But they are basically bike seats for seniors. So they reached out to me by email and they want to send me some seats to review. So I will be reviewing the giddy up seat for sure. So I did collaborate with that company, and they said they'll be sending me several seats to review. So I'm looking forward to that, so we can find out which seats seem to be the most comfortable out there. So like I said, I'm certainly looking forward to that. Got to go out this afternoon, get a haircut, and do some errands. So I wanted to get out today and at least do a 20-mile ride. I've definitely got my face bivaka and my gloves on today because it's a little bit chilly out. So we'll see what the battery does on 20 miles on this Zota Zephyr. On colder temperatures, we'll see what it does. So far, I've ridden 9 hours and 12 minutes on this bike. Yeah, Caleb and I have been getting this bike out a lot. I'm reaching my goal of about 36 to 38 videos on this bike. That's what I had promised Zota that I would do. And I will continue reviewing this bike as summer goes along. I don't stop just because they sent me an e-bike. I will continue reviewing their bike until some more bike companies won't send me some bikes. But as I mentioned, I always try to review at least 35, 36 videos on each bike so I can really get a feel for what that bike can do or what it can't do. So far, this Zota Zephyr has not let us down one little bit. We can easily go 20 miles. Probably we could get 30. But we did 20 miles easily the other day and still had 25% of our battery. On your right. But again, this has got a 48 volt, 17.5 amp hour battery. So it's got a very strong battery. On your left. Now I did send an email to Zota. I don't know if they received it. I have not heard back yet. But I want to buy another battery for this bike so I can have a backup so Caleb and I can do probably a 50 to 60 miler as soon as it warms up a little bit. We are planning on doing an overnighter this year, staying in a bed and breakfast or something, and then maybe do 100 miles. Well, I'll tell you, the regulations I'm starting to see on these hotels and motels, though, with all these fires that are supposedly showing up in New York City and some other areas, which I think is attributed to them buying cheap e-bike batteries and not paying attention to the battery when it's charging. I would never buy an aftermarket battery anymore. I'm going to buy from that manufacturer if I'm going to buy another battery that's designed for that bike. But anyway, these motels and hotels are starting to crack down. I even noticed here in Ohio, you have to sign a disclosure that you're not bringing an e-bike or an e-bike battery into a room if you're going to stay there. So we're going to have to navigate around that. I am going to order some bike bags that one of my neighbors down the street recommended. I can't remember the name of it, but I will be ordering those for my batteries. I think they're only $25 a piece, but I will link that down in the description box of these battery bags, because they're supposed to be really good as far as containing a fire. They even got a place for the charging cord to go through the bag, and you can just keep the battery right in the bag as you're charging it. So I will be looking into those as well, because safety is #1 concern that I have on this channel. Rather be bike accessories, helmets with flashing lights. Let's see, trail closed, do not enter. They shut it down again. Trail mowing ahead. Well, they stopped me from going up to the blessing box again. Well, I'm going to just see how far I can go. I'm not sure, but they may have it totally closed off, and I'm just going to have to turn around. So let's go head downtown again. Much as I wanted to drop off the food to the blessing box, we're just going to head downtown. That's twice in the last week that they've had that shut down. Last 2 weeks anyway. But I enjoy this ride as well. We may only get about 18 miles on this ride, but it's still a good ride. Haven't seen any bikers out today, but I have seen some walkers. Boy, we went from spring to winter really quick in the last few days. Things are starting to moderate a little bit now. Caleb and I will be riding tomorrow. Not sure what we're doing or where we're going, but we'll sit down and figure that out. Again, we do have some upcoming videos, and I'll let you know when that's going to happen, of us sitting down and talking about e-bikes in general, and especially new e-bikes that are coming out. We're going to discuss cargo e-bikes. We're going to discuss step-through bikes. We're going to discuss folding bikes. So we're going to be talking about a lot of things. So I'll give you the guy heads up when I'll be releasing that video. But I really like having Caleb. My wife reminded me something the other day was kind of interesting. I'm 71, he's 17, so the years are just turned around. But he's been really a blessing to my bike channel. He brings a younger perspective to e-biking. And I've noticed my channel age group now is really spread all the way across the board, from people 17 and older. And the numbers are becoming more even as time goes on, and I know that's all attributed to Caleb. He's bringing some music into my shorts and videos, and I don't care for the music a whole lot, but you know what? There are a lot of other people that like that kind of music, so I'm letting him handle that on these shorts. He'll be doing all shorts. He does a really good job of it. Well, the new Kroger's opened up, and it looked pretty busy. Yeah, if you've not watched it, we did a brake bleed video. It's down in my videos. If you guys have not watched the brake bleed video, it's pretty interesting. Caleb did some fluid change on my Rusher Komoda. But we'll be changing things out throughout the summer. Again, as I mentioned, we'll be riding different areas, different trails. We're just going to load them up on the truck and we're going to go. We've already done 3 or 4 different trails you guys have not seen. I just, I get tired of going to the same trail all the time, and I know some of my viewers are as well, because they asked me if I could change it up a little bit. We've done a couple, 2 or 3 on going downtown, so this will probably be the 4th one I've done recently. We're going to be passing by those hills that Caleb was going up and down. We won't be doing that anymore because I don't want to tear these bikes up. Not when these bike companies are generous enough to send me these bikes. Caleb did crash the other day. We weren't filming coming back on our bike ride from Franklin, and he hit this muddy spot. He was riding on a lower level of a little road along the river, and I was up on the regular trail, and boy, before I know it, he went down. He was skidding across the pavement. I couldn't help but laugh at him after I made sure he was okay. So he was really worried about the bike because it's my bike and all that, and I said, Caleb, you didn't even put a scratch on it. I said, my concern is that you're okay. Scraped up his knee pretty good, but again, he's 17 years old. Now me, if I would have done that, I might have had a broken hip. Age has everything to do with it when it comes to riding e-bikes and safety. Here's some little hills over here I'm getting ready to come up on that Caleb went up and down a couple weeks ago. We haven't seen anybody else on those since we've been doing it. It's kind of interesting. Burnout motorhome there's been there for a good while. My subscriber count is still growing, so I really appreciate all the subscribers and people watching my videos. I can't say how much I thank you guys. Please share and like any video I put out and subscribe to my channel. We will be putting out some really interesting stuff this coming summer. Between that and my gardening channel, called Garden Senior Nation. I'm growing a lot of plants inside now in my bookcases. I got grow lights and heat mats, and boy, all the plants are doing extremely well. So if you guys are interested in gardening, hop over there and look at a couple of videos I put out. I am no master gardener by no means, but I have done now enough hydroponics by growing plants in containers, grow bags, rain gutters, kiddie pools. I've done it all and been very successful with a lot of it. Some of it not so much, but as most gardeners know, you learn as you go. You're learning something new every day when you're gardening. It's like riding these bikes. You're learning something new every day about your bike. What it can and what it can't do. Right now I'm in pedal assist 6. And I'm probably around 20 mile an hour. I don't know if you guys can see it because I got my helmet cam on today. I think the trail should be pretty clear so we can get all the way downtown today. We have not had any heavy rains, so we should be okay. I think I just noticed on my bike that my clock did not change when we changed the clocks last Saturday night. Let me check here on my watch. Yeah, it should be 12:05 and it's showing 11:05. So I got to go into the settings and fix that. You would think these computers anymore would automatically do that on the time change, but some do not. Coming down into a little place you guys have seen before if you watch this, called Eastwood Park. We'll be going through this park, and then we'll be heading up a little levee to head towards downtown, and then we'll be riding along the river the whole way. I got one of my subscribers, and I love him to death. He mentioned he thought this bike was a piece of junk. He gave the Cyrusher Komodo a thumbs up and thought this was a piece of junk. But I beg to differ. Unless you've owned this bike and ridden this bike, you better hold that judgment out until you ride it, because I'll tell you what, this bike does everything that it's supposed to do. Very comfortable bike, and I also make it more comfortable when I get these bike seats in and change them out, and we're going to be able to review that. But overall, the Zota Zephyr, Matt did an extremely good job on the design of this bike. And I'll give him a shout out, and his wife Pamela. She's the one I usually correspond with. I will be putting a link to this bike down in the description box. There is a $200 off coupon on my link if you guys want to purchase this bike. If you do, I get a little commission off of it, which is nice. And everything I make on this channel, which isn't much, but I put it right back into the bikes. Heading right into the wind, so a little chilly, but I've got the suppression thing on my camera, so I hope that helps a little bit. Coming back, though, we'll be riding with the wind, and I will be taping coming back. Boy, it's nice to see the sunshine, though. I'm in pedal assist 7 now, and I'm up to 23 mile an hour. Very comfortable speed on this bike. This thing will go up to pedal assist 9. Caleb has already had this bike up to 33.1 mile an hour. The river looks down quite a bit right now, so we should be okay on the river. But the bike itself is very comfortable. It handles well. You can hear the motor, but it's not very loud. Now, it's got a 750 watt motor on it, rear hub motor, that peaks at 1,000 watts. That's a strong battery. Again, that's due to the 17.5 amp hour battery. But I am ordering another battery as soon as I can get Pamela to get back with me from Zota. I would definitely want a second battery for this bike. I've rode it enough now to know that we need another battery. I want to do longer distances on this bike. Okay, see a little bit of downtown. Of course, we got the normal geese. They really like laying down around this river. I'll probably get downtown and eat a quick lunch. So I'll be pausing the camera and I'll be talking about the bike when I'm down there. I'll probably take my helmet off so I can get a little bit lower so I can show you some key things on the bike. Right now we've come 7.7 miles and we're still at 100% on the battery. See if I can get these geese out of the way. They're moving. Yeah, the river's down quite a bit now. We just need warmer weather. I got a lot to do this spring to get my beds ready for my gardening. I've got raised beds. I got 6 of those. And I've also got another area garden, and I got places behind my pond and beside my shed. I put plants wherever I can. Right now I'm up to about 37 tomato plants and 20 some pepper plants that are already growing inside in my garage and in my patio room, and they're all doing extremely well. So again, this is what I do. I ride my e-bikes and I garden. I'm certainly glad I brought my babaka today because around my eyes are even getting cold. At least the sun's out today, that helps. Still cruising along at 23 miles an hour. Yeah, we decided exclusively to go to the helmet cam. Now I am going to try to get another tripod that I can put on the bike where I can get different angles with another camera. Yeah, right through here is where Caleb and I got stuck the other day, and we had to go up on the hill because this was all flooded out. And it looks like right up here, it's only been a day or two that it's actually cleared off. Really got some beautiful townhouses and apartments up there. People love urban living. Mostly young professionals do. I see a lot of the age group, the 30s and 40s, that like to live downtown and work downtown. Okay, got to make the turn up the hill here. And make a sharp turn up here to the trail. And we ain't far from downtown there. See a pretty good view of downtown here. Yeah, Caleb and I like coming down here and riding all over downtown on the bike lanes and head south of town, the historical area. So the things we really like doing down here as far as bike riding. They call this little area down here Riverscape. I don't think they want me to put a blessing box down here because they will not return my phone calls or my emails. I don't understand why. They don't want to feed people, but they don't. So I'm a little bit upset about that, but that's city government for you. I see they finally got rid of the skating rink here. Getting ready for the spring and summer functions. Gonna head down into the area I usually go. Didn't take us too terribly long at all to get downtown. How you doing?
Right.
Got a few people walking down into Riverscape here. Turn around here a little bit. Got some nice areas along the levee here. I'm gonna go up on the levee a little bit where the river is so I can show a little bit of the river as well. A few little geese there, baby geese, getting ready to walk down the hill. I think I intimidated them a little bit. But as you can see there, let me turn my pedal assist down to 0. I don't want this bike taking off on me. As I mentioned, that's very important that you turn your bike down to 0 or turn the computer off, because you don't want that throttle to take off on you. Beautiful scenery of the kayaking area that's man-made down there. A lot of kayakers in the spring and summer down there did a great job on doing that. But anyway, I'm going to hop off my bike here and we're going to talk about the bike a little bit. Okay, as I mentioned, make sure my camera's still recording here. Yeah, I believe it is. Okay, this is a called the Zota Zephyr. It is a 20-inch by 4-inch fat tire bike. It's a folding bike. It is not a step-through. As you can see where it folds right here. It makes it a lot easier to carry this bike when you're traveling. Caleb and I the other day, it's got this quick connect on the tire. We just took the front tire off, turned the handlebars around from here, and we was able to put it right in my truck in the back seat. Again, it's got a 48 volt 17.5 amp hour battery, which is right here in the down tube behind the seat post, shall I say. And they got this enclosed very well. And the key, once you turn it to on position so you can ride, that actually locks that battery in place and you can't get the key out as well, so it's locked. It is again got a 750 watt rear hub motor that peaks at 1,000 watt. It's got a computer that'll go from pedal assist 1 through pedal assist, hope you can see it with the glare, pedal assist 9. This bike again can do 33 mile an hour with a full charge battery very easily. Here is your off and on with the computer, and it's also got the up and down so you can change the pedal assist. And of course it's got a thumb throttle. Here's your horn. It's got very good lighting on the front and the back, as you can see there. And down here as well, and that's a brake light there as well. I bought this bag separately. I had this that I just put on the back of the rack. I carry coffee. I'm a huge coffee drinker, so you'll see me drinking a lot of coffee. Okay, everyone, we're gonna take a ride back home here. Had a quick lunch and looking at the geese and all the ducks down here. They seem to be more interested in me than I am of them. Of course, they're looking for little handouts. So they like to hang around for that. So anyway, we're gonna turn around here and head back. Turn my bike back on. After about 5 minutes, the computer shuts off on its own, which is a good thing. And I'll have to get back up to pedal assist a little bit here, get going. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little downtown trip we just did. It's been a very comfortable ride for me, for sure. And I'm gonna put this seat post up just a little bit. Sliding down on me a little bit. We'll tighten up one of the things here for it. Make it a little better when I get home. Well, I think I just set the alarm on my bike somehow. I must have hit the alarm here, so I'm gonna have to shut this thing off or it goes off. The funny thing is, I never set it to begin with. It just kind of set itself somehow. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, now we're going to turn around here. Yeah, if I had time today, I'd be riding around downtown, but I got some errands to run this afternoon, so I just wanted to get a quick hour and a half bike ride in today. Wind will be at our back a little bit, which is better going back. But yeah, I really love living in Dayton, Ohio. It's a small city. It's not the real small, but it's not real big either, and I really like that because you don't get lost in the mix of like a New York City or Chicago or in LA. I'd rather live in something like this. So yeah, I'm proud to be a Daytonian. Been here all my life. We'll get up here and now I have to go back down the hill again once I make the turn. On your left. Thank you. See, we'll make our little turn right here. It's a pretty sharp turn, but it's got to be careful going down the hill. Don't want to wind up in the river, that's for sure. Then we get down the bottom of the hill, we got to make another right turn. I got a slight squeal in that front brake. I'm gonna have to clean them rotors, I believe. Must have got some dirt or something on them. So I'll be doing that later today. All right, now we're gonna head back home. I'm gonna bump it up to pedal assist 7 where I usually ride. My battery's still showing 100%. I don't expect it to come down much more in 75 time I get home. Again, this battery only goes down in 25% increments. But I'm okay with that. On your left. Let me know what you guys think of the different trails that we've been on so far. Tell me how you guys like this area. I'm still going to step up and stop up here and adjust this seat up one more time. I got a feeling we have to tighten up the quick connect on it because it keeps wanting to slide down a little bit, and I'll be riding down there the way Caleb does. Keep going like that. So bear with me here a little bit. Yep, she slid almost all the way down. I'll pause the camera for a minute for you. Alrighty, we're going to see if that don't help. I tightened down the seat post here. It was a little loose, and of course my weight was pushing it back down. So I had to raise it back up, and we're going to try this again. It seems to be a little better if it stays where it's supposed to. Got Dayton Children's Hospital up there. Oh, geese are not even moving today. So far we've come about 11 miles. We got about another 7 to go. And stop and eat lunch, I've still only ridden 50 minutes, so less than an hour so far. That's the advantage of an e-bike. You start riding along at 15 to 25 mile an hour, you're going to get somewhere a whole lot quicker than walking, for sure. And that's why as a senior I really like e-biking, because I can get out and ride 2 hours and have no effort whatsoever, hardly, putting into the bike. So any of you seniors that are considering buying an e-bike, I'll tell you, it's the best investment I think I've ever made, other than my wife, of course, but it's been a great investment. I plan on riding as many years as I can. This is very relaxing getting out like this. It gets you away from everything. Yeah, bump down to 75%, but it'll probably go back up a little bit once I stop. That's normally what it does. Yeah, Caleb and I are going to ride down into the Cincinnati area. Not from the trail he's on the other day, but another one that I know. And maybe do an overnighter on that one. We'll be doing that late this spring, early summer though. Gotta wait till the weather warms up a little bit. I gotta check out some bed and breakfast or motels, hotels, and make sure they don't have any policies against e-bikes or e-bike batteries in their motel. Because if they do, it's going to cause a problem for a lot of e-bikers that like doing overnighters. See, the tree cutters have come by and chopped off a lot of these trees that were overhanging the trail. See an old bridge up there they tore down years ago. Chalk it up to progress, I guess. On your right. Going back the same way we came. Yeah, let me know what kind of bike you guys would like me to review. And I only say that because if there's other bike manufacturers out watching this channel, which I know they are, they're going to accept your recommendations on a bike more than they are me. So the more you guys recommend for me to ride, reach out to those manufacturers and shoot them a quick email, and they're more likely going to send me that bike they want me to review, especially for seniors or bikes that, you know, they feel that seniors are riding or they want them to ride. So yeah, I suggest you guys reach out and do that. Maybe we'll get some different things we can review. Yeah, and people ask me, they say, what are you going to do with all them e-bikes once you get them? I said, well, I'm going to sell them. Obviously at probably a really good price when I do sell them. And unless somebody wants to pay for shipping, I'm going to sell them local. But yeah, I'm not just going to give a bike away just because it was given to me. I put a lot of work and hours and effort into this channel, and I'm not just giving something away. Now, down the road, I may raffle off a helmet, a new helmet from a bike company, or a seat that they send me in. If I may raffle off stuff like that. But the e-bikes, I won't do that. Now, I know some channels have got 15 to 20 bikes or more. And I watch one channel, he says he turns down bike companies all the time. I don't believe in doing that. It's not about getting free stuff. It's about, there's a need for somebody when it comes to a income level to buy a e-bike. I will certainly review e-bikes that are down in the $750 to $1,500 range. Absolutely, there are people that need to see those bikes. So yeah, if any manufacturers out there want to send me any e-bike, I'm not going to turn it down. To me, that's kind of pride getting in the way. Just because they don't want to review it because they think it's not worthy of them or for their viewers, I don't see that at all. If there's something about an e-bike I don't like, I'm going to tell you I don't like it. I'm going to do as honest a review as I can on that bike. Whether manufacturer likes it or not, I stipulate that when I reach out to them by email, that this is what's going to happen. If there's something about that bike I don't like, my viewers are going to need to know that. And it helps them manufacturers step up their game a little bit on making these things. I certainly would like to see a bike battery that somebody can come out that can lock down to a bike with a nice case. And there are just so many variations of batteries. They're in down tubes like my Rusher and my electric bike company bike. They've got this one that sits behind the seat post, which I really like because it's actually in its own little cradle. So I do like that. Now this one does not come with an alarm. I'm not sure on their website if they have an alarm for this, but I have an aftermarket alarm that I purchased for all my bikes, and I'll put that down in the description box. As you heard it back there, they will go off, and they're pretty loud. I did that on my electric bike company bike they sent me too. That's a $2,500 bike like this one, but I think it had a crappy alarm inside it. I don't think it was sensitive enough. So I purchased an aftermarket alarm for that bike. That didn't mean it was a bad bike, it just means I thought that was a flaw in their bike. Again, I'm going to be I'll be critical, but it's going to be constructively. And I highly recommend anybody who wants to come on my channel and be highly constructive with criticism, as long as it's not offending my channel or offending my viewers. You can put anything you want on there. I'm not going to take a lot of swearing. I will delete you from the channel. If somebody can't be nice when they come on my channel, I don't care if they're a subscriber or not, I'm going to get rid of them. I expect everybody to have decent courtesy to others. Be polite. It's not hard. But you get these trolls and haters come on your channel, and I think that's all they do all day long. Just go on different channels. They never subscribe, so they mean nothing to me. Again, there's a new Kroger. Got a lot of people in the parking lot. That used to be an old Walmart building they tore down and built that Kroger. I see a little battery degradation on this now. It's colder out today. It's going to make a difference on these batteries. They are not going to perform like they would in warmer weather. That's the main thing people got to keep in mind when these manufacturers. So yeah, that battery will get 30 to 50 miles. Do not believe that. Even in perfect conditions, perfect rider, as far as weight, you're down in pedal assist 1, which you're working at it, you may get 30 to 40 miles out of a battery, but never believe that's just a statement they put out there, and it's just not true. What you do want to do is go on YouTube, view channels like mine, and everybody will agree with me. You're not going to get the battery usage out of that as far as longevity of the battery and how many miles you're going to go. Take all of that with a grain of salt. I mean, right now I'm down to 50%, but that's probably kind of normal for this bike. I've done 16 miles so far. Got about another almost 3 miles to go. So yeah, I've not had this bike out in this colder weather yet, and I'm seeing a little bit of difference in the battery. Since I've already ridden this bike, oh, I'm guessing a couple hundred miles maybe, if not farther. So I know the behavior of the bike now and what it's going to do, and I'm 220 pounds. Now keep in mind, Caleb's 270 pounds. So that's going to make a big difference on your battery. The weight of the rider and things you're carrying has a lot to do with how far you're going to get. Still got the trail shut off. But you see these manufacturers out there talk about, even the battery companies talk about what you're going to get out of a battery. To me, that's just false information. And as you'll notice on their comments, they always say up to 30 miles or up to 40 miles. So that's why people watch YouTube to see some of these channels, that we're going to give you an honest review of what we're seeing out of these batteries. And I keep my batteries inside. Maybe in the summer I'm going to store them outside in those battery bags I'm telling you about. But for the most part, in the winter, my batteries will be inside. And you never want to charge your battery when you first take it off the bike. Let it cool down a little bit before you charge that battery. And always put the plug into the battery before you ever put it into the wall socket. You don't want to put it into the wall socket, then plug it in your battery. You're going to get kind of one of those quick charges to it. I mean, it's not called a quick charge, but it gives a little bit of a shock, because you're getting that power coming right out of the wall. So keep that in mind when you're charging your battery. Right now, I keep these batteries in aluminum foil pans when I'm charging them. For the most part, I don't do it all the time. I'm not going to sit there and say I do, but I highly recommend we do that, because if you get a fire on that battery, it'll somewhat contain it. Now, if a battery explodes on you, that's a game changer. But the more people ride these e-bikes, the more you're going to see stuff like that. That's going to be newsworthy. And then I think down the road they're going to wind up regulating these bike companies to where they're going to have to come out with better batteries, or these battery companies, they're going to have to come out with safer batteries. And I see that coming. As I mentioned, I'd like to see a battery case that's where you can put your bike in, your battery on the bike, to where that thing is basically fireproof. If that battery would happen to explode or whatever, that steel chamber that you're setting that battery down in can contain that. So that's some of the stuff that I'm talking about. We got somewhere around 1.5 miles to go and we'll be done. I'll stop the video just prior to getting in my neighborhood again. So yeah, leave any comments down there what you guys think about some of the things I'm talking about as far as battery protection on the bike. They're going to have to start coming up with things like that. Somebody's got the smarts out there that can do that. Now, will it make that bike heavier? Probably. But then they're just going to have to make stronger batteries. In the manufacturing, there's no limitations on anything they can't do. It all boils down to, can consumers afford what they're doing? Anything you buy, you absolutely get what you pay for. I'm convinced of that. You can't tell me that a $300 overseas Chinese battery is going to hold up to a manufacturer's battery. It may cost you double that. You can't tell me that it's a better battery. I won't believe you. They're putting cheaper cells in those batteries, and they're just not safe. That bike was really not designed to have that battery in it. So I can't re-emphasize how important it is that you guys buy the battery from the manufacturer that built that bike. Now, I know they're getting it overseas or whatever, but make sure it's the best quality battery for that bike. It's almost turned into a battery review, I think. But these are some of the things that I want you guys to think about. We really can't just always look at cost. It's not everything. Unless it comes down to an affordability issue, I get that. But for the most part, every time I bought something cheap, I got what I paid for. So when you're out searching for an e-bike, just because it's $800 to $1,000 don't mean it's a good e-bike. But yeah, I'm still going to review it if somebody sends me a bike, because there is a market share for those people. But for the few viewers who don't like this bike, don't buy it. I think this bike is well worth the $24.99, and of course, like I said, there's a $200 discount on my channel, so you can pick this bike up for $22.99 or about that, and it's well worth it. I've ridden this bike long enough now and put enough miles on it to tell you it's worth it. And I don't get paid by the manufacturer. Now, I do make a little commission if somebody goes on my website and buys that bike. And remember, when you go to a channel to buy something, usually that money's, and I do it myself for sure, I don't need YouTube money to survive. But any money that I receive on YouTube, whether it be from purchases on my channel or whatever, it's going right back into my bikes. I do this for a hobby. I don't do it because I have to. I do it because I have the passion and love doing this. And I think some of my subscribers that have been on my channel now for a while know that. I'm excited about this, and anything you do, you need to have excitement in it. Have passion to do it. All right, I'm done with my rant today. I'm gonna turn the camera off here in a second, and we're getting pretty close to home here, so yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching the video, as I always do. Share and like anything about the channel. And subscribe to my channel for sure, and I will see you guys on the next video. As soon as I get up here and shut my camera off here, I'm going to pull off the side here a little bit. I was going to shut the camera off back here. A lady wanted me to go on through, and she was holding up traffic, so let me pull off up here a little bit. Alright, now I say share and like my video, subscribe to my channel, hit that subscribe button, and now I will see you guys on the next video.